Welcome to Reread. We're on the eighth book of the Fate of the Jedi series. This is written by Christy Golden. It is called Ascension. This one, Wynn becomes part of the tribunal, whatever there's three people controlling the government. Wynn is there. At first, I thought he was chief of state. He will be later. But at this point, no, he's just helping out with the three. And anyway, Padnell Oven from the last book. I don't think I mentioned him that much, but that's where Leia and Han were solving a peace treaty on Klaatuin with him. He becomes, and he knows he's a patsy chief of state. He understands that, and he's going to try to undermine the people who elected him because he's not going to be anyone's dummy. But anyway, they're still out hunting Abeloth. Luke and Ben come across the Sith again. Vestari has to kill her father because he's kind of now been mind drained by Abeloth at this point. And this is the part where let me see. Oh, there's a scene in this where Ben is looking. It's through the eyes of Ben, and he's looking at Vestari when he's looking through her computer because he finds her notes that she's the pretend notes she's writing to her father in the first book. He finds them. She thinks she's covering something up because when Ben burst in on her, she tries to erase it real quick because she's embarrassed about it. And so it says, Ben goes, maybe Luke was right. Shouldn't you say maybe Dad was right? It's definitely a misprint there, but he said Luke. He wouldn't call his dad Luke. And that's okay. Just something funny that I just didn't notice the first time around. I thought it was funny. But then, of course, they kiss. She says she starts crying. She wants to be a Jedi, and they go for it. Now, later on, of course, she's not going to be, but that's later on. Anyway, Luke returns as the Grand Master. He decides to remove the Jedi from Coruscant and remove them from government and everything, saying we should never be in control. We're going to be a separate entity, but a friend to the Republic. And he's doing this on purpose because he knows the Sith are trying to infiltrate the Coruscant. He's trying to make it easy for them so he can set up for a trap. Now, that trap will not be sprung until the second book, or the last book, I should say. Anyway, Leia is arrested on trumped up charges. One of them spice smuggling too. It's just trumped up charges. They know this. And the Bothan lawyer from the previous books comes in and he sits down and he says, Princess, before I begin, I have a message from your husband. He said, I broke my wife out of prison once when I was a younger man, and this time I want a better reward. And Leia started laughing. It's good. It's good humor. Christy Golden has some good humor here. Also, Tahiri decides to serve under Jag, under the Empire as restitution. They kind of spring it on Jag at a solo family dinner. She kind of appears, says, I'm sorry about killing Pelion. I know I got convicted of murder, and sentenced to death, but I want to serve you until I get a fair trial in Imperial Court. And the funny thing is it going to be fairer than the Galactic Alliance now because the Galactic Alliance is so corrupt. This time reading it, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with this. Now, usually, hey, you're like, Matt, you let Kip get off. You let everyone go. Yes, but they never went to trial. They never got convicted. She got convicted. She ran away from her conviction to be on, and Jag loves Pelion, and the Empire loves Pelion. They would not accept Vestari. I don't think Jag didn't at first, but then he decided to because he really loves Jaina. They're engaged right now. I kind of have, now Vestari, I said Tahiri. I have a problem with Tahiri getting away with the sentence. Was it a corrupt sentence? No, because they rolled the die 50-50. They could play to the court because to play to the court and probably get her off, or the Jedi could have gotten her off. They didn't want to because they didn't want to seem they wanted to see didn't want to seem biased. But the way things went down, it doesn't feel right to me that Jag would take her back like that and her serving the Empire. Now reading it a second, the first time I remember this happening, I thought it was fine, but now reading everything again, to me, it doesn't add up to me. Now, after coming across a Sith beast who's going to kill Ben, Vestari decides to sacrifice the other Jedi for the Sith beast to kill instead of Ben. Now, Ben's unconscious, or he's out of it, so he didn't know that Vestari did this. He thinks that the Jedi and Vestari teamed up to kill the beast. In actuality, she sacrificed the Jedi. Now, could they have taken them together? Possibly, but Vestari didn't even entertain that, which means she's still a Sith, and she realizes, wow, yeah, I'm not going to be a Jedi ever. And, it's going to crush her. It's going to break her heart in a million pieces when she has to kill Ben. Yeah, I love that. So she's going to be evil for good. She'll play along with everyone for now, but yeah, she's a Sith through and through. And I really did enjoy that. Finally, Abeloth disguises herself as Senator Kim. I can't remember her name. Kim something or whatever. She kills the chief of state with the Force. Padnell dies. She becomes the new leader of the Galactic Alliance. Wynn is captured, freeing. They free Leia from her prison, but Wynn gets captured. And Abeloth looks really evil now, and now she is chief of state. She's going to be queen of the empire and then goddess of all. She's just kind of crazy. She just wants to be loved. But that's kind of how it ends. We're getting ready for the final finale here, and I can't wait to go over it next time.